This is everything in Fortnite that makes no sense. Here's why Darth Vader defies logic. It is one of our newest skins, Samurai Darth Vader, and finally he brought us a lightsaber pickaxe after all these years of asking. But it doesn't glow. Isn't the whole point of a lightsaber to have light? And that is just one of the collabs that makes zero sense, because a lot of fans were shocked to see Cyberpunk appear in Fortnite. The whole appeal of this game is that you could turn your character into anyone. Cyberpunk, after all, be any appearance you want. Well, unless you're in Fortnite. In that case, they completely left out the other V and gave fans only one version of them instead. Things get even weirder when you realize high heels are coming to Fortnite. I can't lie, I think this is a hilarious idea, but I do have one question. How is this gonna make any sense on outfits like Godzilla? He is absolutely huge and probably weighs more than an entire building, so those high heels are made of vibranium or something? What about when Fortnite keeps giving players the same skin over and over again? Well, in the OG Marvel season, we were introduced to Dr. Doom. Then, a couple years later, it was time for simply Doom. At this point, we were now hearing rumors of a Marvel Rivals crossover, and fans noticed Galactic-themed items coming to the game. Sure looked like we were finally getting some kind of Galacta outfit, everyone wanted it. And then, out of nowhere, the collab dropped with a third Doom skin. They give the people what they want, Epic, I'm just saying. Instead, they're handing us items like the Cliffside Soar. For new players, they'll take this glider any day of the week and be pretty happy with it, not realizing it's a complete troll. In reality, this Battle Pass item is basically an edit style of an old glider called Eon. They even copied the animation. What? Now let's head back to kicks, because these have been such a polarizing feature, especially for skins that make zero sense. When you put kicks on 90% of outfits that already have massive boots on, Fortnite doesn't replace them. Instead, it just throws the kicks over the outfit, which means a majority of Fortnite outfits are wearing 2 pairs of shoes at all times. It is pretty funny when you think about it. And so is the brand new Hope outfit. Once you notice this mistake, you will never unsee it. She has some pretty amazing bonus outfits that you can unlock when you level up, letting you get styles like the red version, except they don't make any sense. Despite the fact her hair color changes, her eyebrows remain the same. Now I'm never gonna stop noticing it, even though it's the pickiest thing in the world. She's not the only one with a weird design choice. Jade has been causing fans to look twice, all thanks to her unconventional outfit. Players think it's pretty odd that Jade chooses to wear a full fit, including a jacket, and then mix it with armor. Like, why even bother wearing armor when you got a mini skirt on? Bruh. Chapter 6 has also been confusing players in the battlefield. They logged in for Winterfest, and all of a sudden, the chiller grenade was back. It makes sense, well, until you get closer and realize it's not a chiller, it's the brand new Blizzard grenade, yet it looks exactly the same. Not even joking, Epic has now reused this grenade for 3 different items. And I think one of the funniest ways Epic has cut corners is when they introduced the first one pump in years. Imagine it, you log in, find an incredibly rare shotgun, and discover it officially does 200 headshot damage. Wow, very great, you're thinking. Sign up to shot, get ready for an ultra satisfying one pump. It doesn't do it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It even says 200 above their head, but they're still standing here staring at me. Well, Fortnite actually decided to fix this one, but still not as surprising as... I mean, Skibbity Toilet in Fortnite. Can't even believe I'm saying those words. In fact, I didn't think Skibbity Toilet would ever appear in a Top5Gaming video, period. Now, not only is it part of the item shop, it's basically part of the Fortnite canon. There's gotta be some way to explain why Skibbity Toilet is on the island. Maybe some kind of Skibbity portal? Was he brought here to fight samurai or some kind of Skibbity enemy? What if this sells so well we get a Skibbity part 2? I can't do this anymore. All right, let me pull myself together here. Let's talk about how the OG Pass was a total bait and switch. When Fortnite OG came out with the new chapter, everyone realized that its Season 1 pass was a complete recreation of the actual season shop from the old days. The new versions of Renegade Raider, Aerial Assault Trooper, it felt like a way to get the skins we missed out on. Well, that's until a month into the season when this pass became absolutely useless. As we know, Renegade and Aerial both dropped in the item shop, and everyone who just spent weeks grinding their OG pass now had to grind another 2 million XP just to get what they wanted in the first place. Talk about an oof. Now, I've been meaning to get this one off my chest for a while. Can we please talk about the bus driver? He is everyone's favorite faceless character. We all should thank him before you drop. It's just a polite thing to do. But wait a minute. Whenever it gets to Fortnite's birthday, you end up wishing him a happy birthday too. Very sweet, innocent, but let me check something right now. now. The bus driver, he's 7 years old. We've been hitching a lift from an actual child. I think we need to call somebody, report it or something. Maybe even to Officer Mike Lowry, but I'm pretty sure Fortnite got the wrong guy. This skin was released when Bad Boys 3 was coming out, and it was meant to promote the movie, except this is Mike from the first film. Well, what is he doing here? Now, when the holiday season comes around, which celebrities do you think of? Maybe Mariah Carey? Well, there you go. Maybe Ariana Grande. Yeah, she's here. But if you were thinking Shaquille O'Neal, come on, you're lying. For some reason, despite giving us a skin already, it wasn't long before he arrived as Santa Shaq. A lot of players were also confused that our free Winterfest skin was another crossover, Snoop Dogg. Made a little sense because his Snoop on the Stoop character is hilarious, but at the same time, no one would have guessed Christmas 2024 was about to be taken over by Snoop. At least he's doing his job by spreading the holiday spirit, unlike some outfits that are doing the opposite of what they're known for. There are plenty of superheroes in Fortnite, and the funniest part, they're not good people. Sure, we have Spider-Man, Batman, anyone you could think of, but when is the last time you saw these guys whip out an assault rifle and start blasting anyone in sight? When you think of it that way, Fortnite becomes a pretty morbid game. Batman doesn't kill, huh? And think about it, Aang from Avatar is the definition of a pacifist, but someone must have pushed this guy over the edge.
And I've only had to use violence for necessary defense, and I've certainly never used it to take a life.
Less destructive items should be things like the porta bunker. I mean, what else could you possibly need this for other than defending yourself? Throw down, take shelter, maybe use the tires to rotate. After all, tires have historically been able to save you with zero consequences. Well, not the tires on a bunker. These ones are specifically made to send you back to the lobby. Also, can we talk about sliding? In Fortnite, you could do this. Do not try this in real life because sliding on your knees down a road would absolutely shred them. It must be so painful, yet our characters do it with ease. It's also pretty funny when you think about all the things a down player could do. Like, these guys have been shot multiple times, they're fighting for their life, but there's plenty of time to hop on a zip line, use a launch pad, even grab an item from a vending machine. All that effort instead of, I don't know, getting up. Let's rewind the clock for a second all the way back to when the IO was still here. I've been thinking about this for years now, and I still can't think of a reasonable explanation. You know when they spend months drilling through the island to fight a war? Well, it makes sense because they were on the other side of it when it flipped. Except, why would they spend all that time drilling when they just showed up with blimps and planes anyways? Can someone explain this? And while we're discussing these choices, let me ask you another question. Which do you think would be more destructive, a sniper bullet or an RPG to the face? Should be obvious, but not in the Fortnite universe. Welcome to Battle Royale, where a sniper does more damage than a missile blowing you up. In fact, this entire map is just straight up weird. You can jump off a bridge or even a mountain, and as long as you land in a bush, you're fine. I don't know what the bushes are made out of, but probably pillows. When you think about it, nothing in this world makes sense. After all, we're now running around as a sentient piece of bread. Not only is the bread shaped like a dog and wears clothes, he's somehow buff and doesn't get moldy. What happens if it rains? Does he change shape? I'm starting to feel like I need answers here, Fortnite. Also, what is going on with rivers? Why is it that every single body of water in this game somehow has an arsenal of weapons inside? Just try to fish like any other person, and suddenly I'm pulling grade A guns from the water. No wonder these people are always fighting each other. They have arms dealers dumping all their items into the sea. Fortnite, you can contact me at Tommy@top5gaming.com to email me these responses. Thank you so much. It's been a love letter. Tommy, keep it here. Top 5 Gaming.